Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Squat Cobbler. I am Dr. Mike at Official Pagan on everything. And joining me, as always, and he wants you to like and subscribe, is
It's this close. Thought I had it. Thought I was going to get to say it. Hi, everybody. This is Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram. And we're glad to be back. And please follow Mike's advice.
we are happy to be back. It's a new reopening world. And there is one company that is not afraid to embrace the new changes that are coming upon us and bringing back maybe the greatest figure in all of nostalgia.
Well, we can discuss that further as the show goes on.
Well, first, Kelly, let me ask you, are you a pizza guy?
I am 100% a pizza guy.
Very nice. I didn't even have to do give me the scale from communist sympathizer to Macaulay Culkin. You know what I mean?
Nope.
You're just right there with pizza.
I am all the way. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, hot, cold, square slices, regular slices, don't care.
All pizza, basically anything on it. Now, where do you fall on the pineapple pizza debate?
I am not pro pineapple. I find it, I don't like it. But how about you?
You know what? I like some pineapple on my pizza. No olives though.
Oh,
that's where I draw the line.
That's the lines are being drawn here, folks, because I'm pro olive, and I'm not opposed to anchovies either.
To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever had anchovy pizza, so I'm open to trying it.
Yeah, one time when I was on a trip to New York, was downtown enough to hit one of the world's best pizza places. There were a lot of them available, and to get a New York slice, and got it with anchovies, and it was actually pretty good. I mean, salty, but still good.
I don't. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure I've ever even had an anchovy before.
I'm not recommending an anchovy pineapple. I don't think you want to go that way.
I think I'm pretty open to trying different things with food though. Like I'm easy to kind of sway into trying weird stuff. So I'm not opposed to anchovies on pizza or just in general. I just don't think it's ever come up.
Something new. Hey, and in the comments, folks, if you want to share your ideal pizza combo, I'd be very interested to see what the squatties out there prefer.
So now you just hit on something else. What is your favorite topping for pizza?
So not just one. So I would say kind of the pizza, the dream pizza for me is sausage, mushroom, black olive. I'm good to go. Lots of cheese.
I'm usually pretty straightforward, like sausage or pepperoni. I'm good to go with. I do like trying different pizzas though. There's one of the many great pizza places around here does what they call the Works pizza, and it's just all kinds of peppers and different things and all of the meats on it. It's a little over toppinged, I guess, but it is good.
Yeah, and this goes back a few years, but I was visiting my parents, and they're as they were wont to do from time to time, had become fixated on something, and in this case, it was a Little Caesars bacon wrapped pizza. So it was a pizza surrounded by a wall of bacon, and they were running ads for it all the time, and it worked for them. They were like, "Oh, we got to try it," and it was going to be a special day, so we got it, and I got to tell you, not a good pizza. I mean,
I remember those ads, but I never tried the pizza.
Yeah, you would think, how can you go wrong? It's pizza and bacon, so,
right?
But it just, I don't think it was real bacon. I don't know what kind of bacon it was, but it was not
a real pizza.
It wasn't delicious bacon, that's for sure.
So Little Caesars is actually not common in Philadelphia or the surrounding area. So typically we'll have like one that's within some sort of reasonable distance, if that. So more recently we got it for, it was a couple years ago. I want to say it was last time I had it. It was a party at a studio. And we got there, and it was like before we sound crazy, like it was an appearance thing that we were supposed to be there at, not we showed up at a party and started making crazy demands. And they were supposed to like provide us with food and didn't. So, and we had made like an agreement and everything, and we were doing this for very little. So I was like, the least you can do is kind of get us some pizzas. They went out and got like 20 Little Caesars pizzas and a couple cases of beer, which was fine. I mean, they didn't need it, but I mean, from what I remember, it was fine for pizza that you can get for $5.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like there's a very high end pizza place here in Philly called Pizza Brain, and they have an attached pizza museum.
Oh,
that you can go to and peruse their collection of different pizza memorabilia from throughout history. But a Pizza Brain pizza, just like one of their more standard pizzas, is going to set you back $25-$30 easily. And they have ones that are more than that. So for $5 that you can just walk in and walk out with a pizza, it's great. It's better than gas station pizza, which is the only other pizza you're going to get for $5.
Yeah, and regionally. So I'm in Illinois, so not far away from Chicago style pizza,
Okay.
which is basically a meat and tomato pie. I would describe it as super thick. The first slice, and usually probably the last slice, because there's a lot to it. You get through all those slices. I can usually cruise through a lot of a pizza, but a deep dish, boom, that'll stop you in your tracks. Not bad. I don't mind it, but I still prefer, New York's got the hyper thin crust. Chicago's got the deep dish. I'm a middle grounder. I like that nice crisp crust, but don't really go deep dish and super thin. It's okay, but just standard pizza crust, I'm good to go.
I live with somebody who's a thin crust person. And not that I mind, I can take thin crust here and there, but standard pizza is the way I prefer.
How about something in your crust? By the way, folks, this show's not about pizza.
I was just about to say, this is all going to tie together. Just wait for it.
It's coming. There's this is video content, video game, retro gaming content. I know you probably find that a little hard to believe at this point.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're so close. We're so close. Within the crusty, so Little Caesars is one of the big ones. Domino's has started to do it as well too. To load the crust with mozzarella cheese, which is just like a series of cheese sticks that they've wrapped in the crust. And then you can have garlic cheese crust too. So just you can get a lot going there. I stand more with the standard regular crust, just crust.
I enjoy crust. I like most Americans, cheese and bread are the core of my diet. So I am a crust fan. I've had different places, different variations on stuffed crust pizzas. I like them. It's not something I would get if I just wanted pizza on any regular day, though, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I do believe my first introduction to it was probably Domino's, which you mentioned. And I remember them running the campaign where they were telling people to eat the pizza backwards, eat it crust first.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of their big marketing ploys that they had. See, we're tying it back. You're about to get it.
So close, believe.
Yeah, you're about to get it.
When you go back on your 15th or 16th rewatch of this, because we know most of the folks just looking for all the Easter eggs and everything in there, you'll go, oh, this is when they almost got to the topic.
You're about to get it. Now, speaking of Domino's marketing,
segue.
Domino's back in the 90s had something else going for them. I would say the only thing you remember when you think of Domino's pizza, and that, of course, is the Noid.
Yeah. So you can't forget it. Once you see it, you can't forget it. It was a thing. And so some of our viewers might be, I don't know, maybe too young to have experienced the Noid, but you can go to the YouTube and go back and find some of those fine commercials, or you can just watch the new commercials that are out now because he's back.
Yeah, they've brought the Noid back, and it started with a small like social media spot that was like a glitch filter and a quick flash of the Noid. And I remember seeing all the comments like, this generation doesn't know what's coming. They've grown up in a Noidless world.
Lucky them. Yes.
So on the scale of mascot characters, where would you place the Noid?
So if we're going to like a 1 to 10 on memorability, I give it a 9. On getting me to like the brand, I give it a 2. uh, on interest in seeing additional commercials featuring said character, a 1. So
You haven't been sitting around all these years watching the nostalgia for late 80s and early 90s content build and build, just knowing one of these days they're bringing back the goddamn Noid.
yeah, I had hoped against it, but yeah, I was ill prepared for the return of the Noid.
I don't think anyone was really prepared for the return of the Noid, but here we are. We live in a world now where the Noid is back. Who knows for how long? One can only hope forever. But that brings us to our retro gaming content. Obviously, today we are here to talk about, and I have to read it off of this, Masked Ninja Hanamaru.
Okay. I thought we were getting to the show, but maybe not.
Or as it's known in the US, Yo Noid.
Okay. Ninja.
So Capcom. Sorry, sir.
I said ninja, huh?
So Capcom made a ninja game, Masked Ninja Hanamaru. And in the US, I made some sort of deal with Dominos and replaced the ninja with the Noid and swapped out assets in the game to be Domino's pizzas and pizza related things.
Yep. And that is playable, now back and available. You can just go play it online. You can find a site and just play it online. We'll include a link to the place you can do that. It's available in a lot of emulations as well.
Totally legal ROMs that you guys will get out there.
That's right. Well, I think you're cool with the site, I guess. I think we can include a link to the site that lets you just play through your browser, probably. But,
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not our site. But it, yeah. So I think we had a couple conversations in the past where this particular piece of marketing genius came up that this game existed, along with a couple others that were a little on the quirky side. And I went into it with low expectations, and I guess maybe it's because it's a reskinning of an existing game. The platforming portions of this game are pretty solid to me.
Yeah, this is up front. This is a solid game.
Yeah, the caveat I'll put on that is that the platforming parts of the game are great, but you get these little intermissions where it jumps into, I guess, somewhat of a strategy thing where you're going against the local hero on who can eat more pizzas. Good job, Domino's. That's a good thing to do.
This is what replaces boss battles in this game.
Yeah,
just to give people some context.
Yeah, and not an appropriate replacement for a boss battle. Fight a big pepperoni, do something else, but don't kind of have to pick numbers and you ate this many pizzas and he did. I mean, it definitely it's a shift in the game, a little different approach. Instead of platforming, you're doing a little bit of strategy for a while. But I think to me the biggest flaw of it was the total number of pizzas eaten. To clear that and get to the next level was a little excessive. I believe they could have tightened that boss battle up a little bit to let you get through it quicker to move on to the game. My opinion.
Yeah, it's the major fault of the game, if there is one, is the replacement of boss battles, because the platforming stages, as you said, are well designed. And again, Capcom is behind this. They know how to make good games. So this is a really solid game. It's well designed. Whether or not you like the Noid as a character or Domino's Pizza as an entity, or how you feel about this heavy-handed level of marketing to children at that time. I mean, there were entire cartoon shows that were just based on toy lines. So however you feel about that aside, this was a solid game.
Yep. Yeah, I was surprisingly fun to, yeah. Pardon?
Until the boss battle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's surprisingly fun to play. You just got to suffer through some of those things there. And you see Capcom's fingerprints on it. because the platforming side, you kind of have one approach of gameplay for a level or two. It'll shift you over to put you on a skateboard, a very 80s skateboard posing Noid that is going through. And then there's a pogo stick and another couple other things too. But your means of conveyance change from time to time. As well, the enemies vary in terms of whether it takes a single hit or multiple hits to take them out. So it gets good variety there. And so it's actually really fun to do. And if you haven't been exposed to it, you really should. I don't think you'll be forced to order Domino's pizza at the end of the game, but worse things could happen.
Right. It doesn't hurt. Now, are you a Domino's guy? Speaking of which,
so I don't mind it. And in college, I was definitely a Domino's guy because that was the kind of price you liked as a college student. Was Domino's was always a good thing. The delivery, and they ran during my time in school the Domino's Dots campaign, which was if you take the pizza cover, that little tongue on the end that when you kind of close the cover would have a blue dot on it. And after you collected, I think it was like 10 dots, you could get a free pizza. So there was a lot of scavenging in dumpsters and just kind of, because not all the college kids were totally aware of the Domino's Dots deal. So you could, if you're willing to do a little digging, you could get to 10 dots pretty quick. Wash your hands and then enjoy your pizza. How about you for Domino's?
So much like Little Caesars, there's not a ton of Domino's around here. So I hadn't had it in a while. And then pre-pandemic, we our last road trip that we did was to we went to Boston. We went all over Massachusetts, Boston, Salem, and somewhere else. Sorry, somewhere else. I can't remember off the top of my head. You were nice though too. Yeah, and in Massachusetts there was a lot of Domino's, so we ordered Domino's to our hotel. We very stupidly, even though we knew this road trip was coming 8-9 months ahead of time, waited till like 2 or 3 months beforehand to get our hotel, and that's problematic when you're anywhere in Massachusetts near Halloween, apparently. So everything was filled up, and the few places that weren't, $200-300 a night hotels were suddenly $1,000 a night. So we wound up in like a Motel 6 on like off of some weird highway near nothing is where we ended up being. And even that was a little bit pricey, and nothing against Motel 6, but I am spoiled at this point in my life. Like when we go on road shows and stuff like that, typically I have a suite or, some kind of really nice room. We have multiple connecting rooms, things like that. I'm a little bit spoiled. So this was not for me in that sense. And again, nothing against Motel 6. It was perfectly fine. I'm just old and spoiled. So standing on the side of a highway looking for anything, Domino's was the only place that would deliver there. So we ended up eating Domino's for like a week.
Yeah, probably diminishing returns there.
Yeah.
First couple nights of Domino's, it's pretty good. Then
yeah. That's kind of how it went. I haven't eaten Domino's since.
Yeah.
First, I was like, oh, Domino's is good. We should order Domino's when we get back. Day 4, I was like, I never want to order Domino's again. Yeah. I'm glad the Noid's gone.
But he's not, as we discovered here.
He's back.
Yeah, of all of the kind of characters out there, he's super surprising because I don't think he was much beloved at the time he was out there. So interesting, but
they tried, and I would love. This is one of those things where I would really love to be in that like focus group meeting, or where they're doing like the back and forth, and they're like, all right, Coca-Cola has the polar bears, 7-Up has the Spot, which while it's minimalist is super popular. That also got 2 video games, not just one. That's by the way. The 7-Up Spot has 2 different games that were ported to multiple systems. So that was a beloved character, believe it or not, as well. A red circle beloved character, just as much as the Coca-Cola polar bears. Maybe not quite that much, but it was up there. So I like that they were like, what can we do that's on that same level? And they were like, what if some creepy disfigured guy put on a onesie and jumped around on a pogo stick, stealing pizzas.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Yep. With no minimal vocabulary and all of it spoken in a shrill, tremolo voice. Yeah, and the onesie's not a good look for anyone. I pretty much, and that's not. It's super creepy. So, but
Yeah,
not a bad
it's a
game.
bizarre choice.
It is not a bad game though. So,
No, other than the boss battles, that's my only one real issue with the game is the boss battles. Otherwise, the platforming is really solid. And I'm not a giant platform guy. And I definitely remember this game was a gift from somebody. I did not purchase this game. And I remember being really disappointed because I didn't even eat that much Domino's. So there was no way. And I was just old enough to kind of understand this was a commercial in game form, like just getting to that point. I was maybe like 9 or something like that when this came out. So I was just getting to that point where I was like, oh, this is to sell me pizza that I don't actually eat. Great. And then I was pleasantly surprised when I actually played it, though. So it turned out to be a pretty solid gift.
Yep, I was surprised as well. It happened a little later in my life than you, but it was pretty cool. Yeah, so I think you should definitely. We're including it with we're sure is possibly a totally okay link that you can play it online. You can kind of do your own searching to get your legally licensed copy of it, but it's totally worth a look to go for it because it's a fun game.
Yeah, definitely worth playing, especially if you're into platformers. And again, I'm not a huge platformer guy, but for the Mario, Sonic, mascot platformer character games, this is almost as good as those. If it wasn't for the boss battles, I would put it on the level of some of those.
Yeah, I think it's close. I mean, because it's diverse, challenging, platforming gameplay. So they did a nice job. And that makes a lot of sense that it's a port because I'm not sure. Just you don't build a game from the Noid up. It's just that's not gonna probably work out too well.
I don't know how this is going to happen, but I am going to organically work from the Noid up into as many conversations as possible.
Yeah, so that's another T-shirt working from the Noid up. So we'll start to kind of run. We're getting a running tally of some of our T-shirts and working from the Noid up. Add it to the list. Our good buddy Dave LaGreca was encouraging us to open up a T-shirt spot, and so maybe we will. But
I agree with him. I think we got plenty of content.
I think so. It's just follow through, which hasn't been like our strength. But
no, not exactly.
We'll get there. We will get there. Excellent. So I'm trying to decide for YouTube whether I'm going to put this video out in 2 versions. One will be, yes, this is actually the review of the game and cut off the first 25 minutes or whatever we did. And then the full length director's cut. But I just think we'll just do one.
Yeah, just do one. I think though people would get from the title where we're going.
Yep. I can give them some timestamp information to say, if you don't want to hear Mike and Kelly's fascinating discussion of all things pizza, perhaps jump to this portion of the video.
Sounds good. Anything else you want to add to the Noid, sir?
Nope. Glad you're back, Noid. And we'll catch you on, and glad you folks are back, hopefully watching. Please like and subscribe as Mike suggested, and we'll catch you again next week.
1,000 subscribers, we get a party. Maybe Kelly gets a Noid tattoo. We don't know.
Goodbye. Goodbye.